Dear students, let's continue chapter 2, Food through Digestive Tract. In last class, we discussed about the structure and function of villi. So, what is a villus? Villi or villi are small finger-like projections that are seen at the inner wall of small intestine. Then, what is the function of villus? Villus helps in the absorption of simple nutrients into blood and lymph. So, I hope you are remembering the structure of villus. So, just imagine this is a small intestine and you can see the villus just like this, finger-like projections. So, the absorption of simple nutrients takes place through here. So, just like this, the simple nutrients enters into the blood capillaries and lacteal inside the finger-like projections called villus. So, I am drawing a single villus and you can see blood capillaries and lacteal here. So, the nutrients, when we consume food, the nutrients or the simple nutrients enters into the blood capillaries and lacteal. So, how these molecules are able to enter into this blood capillaries and lacteal? How this movement is possible? There are several mechanisms behind the movement of molecules from the external environment into the blood capillaries and lacteal of the villus. So today we are discussing about the different mechanisms behind the movement of simple nutrients into blood capillaries and lacteal. So let us find out which are those mechanisms. The movement of molecules takes place by three methods, or the movement of simple nutrients into blood and lymph takes place by three methods. So which are those three methods? Simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion and osmosis. So first let us learn about simple diffusion. Now look at here. So just consider these are the molecules, or we can say these are the molecules of simple nutrients, and these are also the molecules. Then in which region there is a higher concentration of molecules? Higher concentration of molecules means in which region there is more number of molecules? Yes, this region consists of more number of molecules of simple nutrients. But in this region there is only very less number of molecules of simple nutrients. So we can call this region which consists of more number of molecules as a higher concentrated region. So this part is termed as higher concentrated area, and this part can be called as low concentrated area. So in simple diffusion, the molecules moves from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. So the molecules will move from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. So this type of movement of molecules is termed as simple diffusion. And when this movement stops, so the movement of molecules in simple diffusion stops when the equilibrium occurs. So equilibrium means same number of molecules in both regions. So the movement of molecules stops when it comes to an equilibrium. Equilibrium means same number of molecules in both regions. So this type of movement of molecules is termed as simple diffusion. The absorption of glycerol and fatty acid into the lacteal takes place by this method, or by simple diffusion method. So how the simple diffusion of fatty acid and glycerol takes place in lacteal? Let us draw the structure and study it more clearly. So, this is a villus and we know that this is a lacteal and these are blood capillaries. Just imagine these are blood capillaries. So, I already told you the process of absorption of simple nutrients into the lacteal takes place by the process of simple diffusion. So, how simple diffusion takes place here? Just before the process of absorption, we know that more number of molecules of simple nutrients will be there just outside the villus. So, this is just before absorption. Just before absorption, more number of molecules of simple nutrients will be just waiting outside for entering into the lacteal. They are waiting outside. So, in this time, inside the lacteal, there will be only less number of molecules of simple nutrients that we already consumed yesterday. So, the food items that we already consumed yesterday. Now, we just consumed the food items and our simple nutrients are just waiting to enter into the lacteal. So, we already studied that in simple diffusion, the molecules moves from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. So, now look at this diagram. Where is higher concentration? Yes, here it is higher concentration of molecules and here it is only lower concentration. So, normally what happens? The molecules moves from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. So, this is how the simple diffusion takes place in lacteal. In simple diffusion, you have seen a semi-permeable membrane. This is a semi-permeable membrane in between the higher concentrated region and the lower concentrated region. But this simple diffusion also takes place in our daily life situations without the presence of a semi-permeable membrane. Can you say some examples? The spreading of odor in our atmosphere is without the presence of a semi-permeable membrane. I will tell you an example. If I put a body spray, more concentration of molecules will be there just around me. But after some time, what happens is diffusion takes place and the molecules of the perfume moves from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration, and so that you will get the smell of perfume. Now we shall discuss about facilitated diffusion. So, in facilitated diffusion, the movement of molecules takes place from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration through a protein molecule in the cell membrane. So, we already know that this is the cell membrane and there will be a protein molecule in the cell membrane which provides a pathway for the movement of molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. So, the molecules from here enters through this pathway and then reaches here. So, this is how the facilitated diffusion takes place. So, where do this facilitated diffusion takes place? The glucose, fructose, galactose and amino acid, all these simple nutrients enters into blood capillaries by this process called facilitated diffusion. So children, now we already studied which are the methods by which the simple nutrients get absorbed into blood and lymph. So the fatty acid and glycerol, the nutrients like fatty acid and glycerol get absorbed into lacteal or into lymph by the process of simple diffusion, and the simple nutrients like glucose, fructose, galactose and amino acid takes place by the process of facilitated diffusion and it gets absorbed into blood through blood capillaries. And what about water? We already studied that water is also a simple nutrient. So how the absorption of water takes place? The absorption of water takes place by the process of osmosis. So this osmosis method or this process is only applicable for water. So how it happens or what is osmosis? the movement of water molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration is termed as osmosis. So what is osmosis? The movement of water molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. So this is a semi-permeable membrane, and this process is only applicable for water. Okay, now we shall learn about a special type of transport of molecules, which is called active transport. So what do you mean by active transport? Till now we studied that the molecules always moves from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. But in active transport, just opposite is happening. In active transport, the molecules always moves from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration. So there will be a protein for helping, or a carrier protein will be there. So these molecules will move through this pathway into the region of higher concentration. This active transport does not take place always, but it only takes place in certain situations. In which situation active transport takes place? While we are fasting, we know that the quantity of glucose in our blood will be lesser. So in such situation, the available amount of glucose will be taken from small intestine into blood. In such situations, active transport takes place. So we studied all the details about the process of digestion till small intestine, and we understood that the process of absorption of nutrients takes place in small intestine. So after the absorption of nutrients from the small intestine, the waste products or the waste remains after absorption moves to large intestine. So from large intestine, what happens is the major quantity of water and salt which is left after the absorption in small intestine is absorbed from large intestine. And also you can see certain bacteria in the large intestine which produces vitamin K. So this vitamin K is also absorbed from the large intestine. So after that, the waste products get stored in rectum. So the waste products are temporarily stored in rectum, and during excretory process from rectum, the waste products move out or excreted out through anus. So this is the entire process of digestion, and the digestion process takes exactly 4 to 5 hours. The digestion process takes 4 to 5 hours. So we have to give such a time gap after our food. Now look at this picture. Here you can see some healthy food habits are written in the graffiti. So it is saying that we should include fiber-rich food items in our diet, and also we should reduce consuming junk food and fast food. So we all know that fiber is undigestible. It is not digestible. But why it is saying that we should include fiber-rich food items? What is the benefit of fiber? So let us see what are the benefits of fiber. Fiber helps in absorption. Actually, fiber is not digestible. It is not required to be digestible, but it helps in the process of absorption. And also it is defecation. Defecation means excretion. So this fiber helps in easy defecation. We know about the difficulties of constipation. So to reduce that, we can include fiber-rich food items. Then the another benefit is it helps for improving the health of digestive system. So if we include fiber-rich food items in our diet, it also improves the health of our digestive system. So if we are consuming more quantity of fried food items like fried chicken, fried fish and all, what happens is the carbon content present in that sticks in our intestinal walls. And what happens is when we consume fiber-rich food items, this fiber acts as a brush and it cleans up our digestive system. So we should include fiber-rich food item in our diet. So children, healthy food is very important for a healthy body, and a healthy body is very important for a healthy society.